Yes, this happened live. Watch what Scott Jennings pulled out, because he feels like the Trump and Musk fallout just became too much to stomach. Y'all peep this.
Abby.
Is that a bag for you to breathe into?
No, this is what.
Okay.
I'll be pouring this in my Newsnight mug tonight.
Oh, Lord.
Pepto Bismol is what we all need here in the Republican Party.
I thought it was some Jack Daniels.
We're beyond
They
that.
might need that too.
I'm just, first of all, I just want to, I know that we have our differences here sometimes, but if you could just, if you could give me a little dispensation for the next hour and not beat me to death. Look, here's the deal. The goals.
Well, you don't have to. You don't have to defend either of these men. You could just tell us.
And here's the problem.
What you think
here's
really ought to happen.
Here's the problem. They both have a point. Trump's agenda is in the bill, and he wants to pass it. That's his point. Musk is not wrong about the national debt, and he deeply cares about this, and that's his point. Mm-hmm. So their goals are not mutually exclusive, which is, I think, the rub. And for all these Republicans out here who, like me, have really enjoyed this coalition, this partnership. I mean, I firmly believe that the relationship and the partnership they formed last year saved America and put us on a path to saving Western civilization.
Facts.
And now this puts that in jeopardy. And so it's not just about the daily policy quibbles, it's about the larger cultural things are at play. So I'm going to have some of this tonight and hope for better days and better skies tomorrow, because I still love them both, and I hate it when mom and dad are
Go
fighting.
ahead and take a sip, Bakari. I mean, Elon Musk is calling in his...
But if you thought that was dramatic, then came Fox News, where Jesse Waters tried to cool it all down, but even his sarcasm could not hide the fact that this just went nuclear.
Sometimes when you're angry, you say things you don't mean. Greg knocked my hair last week, and I said he's on the Epstein list.
Yeah, you did.
No, I didn't mean that. I made it up.
How did you know, though?
How did Musk know? No one knows what the list is. He didn't know. But sometimes guys fight. Guys sometimes will punch you in the face, and the next night you're having a beer. Sleep with your girlfriend, and you patch things up.
Really?
Not your wife, your girlfriend.
Wow.
Yeah. No one slept with my girlfriend, let's put it that way.
Oh, my word.
These guys are like roommates. They were living in close quarters for like the first 6 months of the year. They're just blowing off steam. Okay. The issue is donor maintenance. This guy's the mega donor. So you don't want him accusing you of being a pedophile, and you don't want him calling for your impeachment. I hope he doesn't mean that, but maybe they can patch things up. I mean, Vance called Trump Hitler, and he's on the ticket. Sometimes when you're angry, you say things you
Great
don't.
point to be made there. But a roommate fight? That might have worked. I mean, that's if Elon hadn't made it public, and if, we ain't seen nobody take it personally. However, we need a peer mediator. So that's when we got Charlie Kirk, who gonna step in, and instead of the memes and jokes, he gave people facts.
Is Donald Trump's name in the Epstein files? Look, honestly, I'm so sick of this. First of all, as you know, President Trump and Elon Musk are fighting. I have a lot of respect for both of them and very thankful for what Elon did for purchasing X. Just so you know, President Trump's name was actually in the Epstein files going back to February. That's right. In February, they were there. And look, this idea that he's on the client's list or some nonsense, being in Palm Beach, of course you're going to be listed in a long document. He was once friends with Jeffrey Epstein, and then he kicked him out of his club for being creepy towards young girls. It's very important to note that all this online nonsense, just go and look back. President Trump's own administration released Epstein files back in February where his own name was mentioned, not as a criminal, not as doing anything wrong, in fact, for acting correctly and properly. You must separate fact from fiction on this. It's too bad Elon and Trump are fighting. In fact, I did an entire episode on this, an entire podcast on this that I hope you guys check out. But no, oh my goodness, Donald Trump's in the Epstein files. You know what? Maybe you should actually go read the Epstein files that are already publicly available. And yes, President Trump was mentioned in no criminal way whatsoever. And we're trying to also believe that after 10 years, they finally got Donald Trump in some way because he's being accused by Elon because there's like this massive social media food fight. Not true. Total BS, fake news. And we stand with Team America as President Trump continues to fight for the future of Western civilization.
Now, Charlie Kirk wasn't just defending Trump. he was correcting the record, in my opinion, and calling out how fast people forget. It's important that people actually go look up the details of these situations. But for everyone caught in the middle, one voice stood out above the noise. Because Damani didn't take sides. He asked questions nobody else are asking.
All I have are questions. The first question I have is, why are people acting surprised that Elon said Trump was in the Epstein files, when we already know those files would include the well-known facts that Trump did fly on Epstein's plane a few times several decades ago from Florida to New York, that those files would include the fact that Trump was never on any Epstein Island flight logs, and the fact that Trump kicked Epstein out of Mar-a-Lago once he found out what Epstein was really into. Another question is, if truly incriminating information about Trump and Epstein was available all this time, then why didn't Hillary, why didn't Biden, and why didn't Kamala leak that information when it would have benefited them during their presidential campaign runs at any time over the last 10 years? Another question is, if Elon truly did know some sickening information about Trump, how long did he know it? Why did he bring his kid around Trump repeatedly for the last few months? Why did he wait till now to mention it? And was he just going to keep this information to himself for forever otherwise? Another question is, will this cause Trump to force the release of any and all Epstein files in order to prove his innocence, while also incriminating everyone else involved at the same time, especially now that Democrats themselves are demanding to see these files? Another question is, will this blow up completely kill the bill and force our leaders to start over from scratch on a newer, better bill that better encapsulates what MAGA voters actually asked for in the first place? Another question is, why can't we put line item veto powers in place so that we can actually pass specific parts of bills with precision, or just issue single issue bills altogether to stop them from being loaded with unrelated garbage? Another question is, when will people realize this is not about Trump or Elon or a bill anymore? That it's only about those who want to know the truth, see evil exposed, and see justice be served. Another question is, how many times do I have to tell people I do not regret voting for Trump because I know just how much worse the alternative would have been? And these are the big questions I have. These are the answers I want. Those are my thoughts, and I'm curious what yours might be.
He just flipped the entire conversation with this video. And not even with answers, but with doubt. And that's when people start thinking for themselves. He asked all the right questions that I was over here like, But if there was anyone who said what millions were really feeling, it was her.
Republican Party can get into a fist fight tonight and won't nobody go over there to the Democratic side. You guys are crazy. If you think that because Elon and Trump are getting into it online, y'all think because they getting into it, okay, so what? They had a disagreement. In my opinion, Elon just needs to stay offline because, we know Elon is a little bit immature. I know he's the richest man in the world, but we know he's immature. We know, some, what I'm saying? He got a little something going on. He got 13 baby mamas, 13 kids or something like that. But anyway, it don't mean nothing that they've gotten into it. And as a matter of fact, when I looked up some of the articles, I see CNN is going live about it right now. That's all they're talking about. They couldn't wait for there to be a break in the goodness that's been going on since Trump has gotten back into office. They couldn't wait for something to go wrong. Oh, look. Oh, they're having a disagreement. That's his right-hand man. Oh, that's this and the third. People disagree. But that doesn't mean the whole economy is going to crash because they disagree. It's interesting that CNN is trying to broadcast live about this, but just like they only broadcasted live during one of Trump's speeches, the one that the attempted assassination was put on his life. That was one of the other times they live streamed about Trump. They didn't do any other campaigning live streams besides that one where they were trying to take his life. But that's neither here nor there. I'm not worried about Elon. I'm not worried about Trump. Trump is still a president. Elon was hired for a job. He did a great job. Now they don't get into it. It goes against Elon and his company with the EVs and all of that. Okay, that's fine. They'll figure it out. But it's okay for them to disagree like that. Because with the previous administration, they didn't disagree on anything. Everything that was going wrong with the economy, everything that was going wrong in our school system, everything, there's too many things to name. All of the natural disasters that happened, none of our people received any help. All of the illegals were getting all of the assistance. Nobody disagreed with any decisions that were being made by God knows who, because we know it wasn't Biden. We know Biden and Kamala didn't do anything at all except for bringing this country down. That's the one thing they can agree on, is not doing ish for us. So no, I'm not worried about Trump and Elon. They'll be all right.
Yeah. And she didn't just call out the media that time. She called out the game. Like, she laid out the plan. This wasn't about Trump or Musk. It was about what the media could do with this. Man, come on, Elon. Come on, Trump, man. What's going on? Y'all get it together, man. Yesterday, on the phone, all I can do while I was on the phone was go, damn, Elon. On the phone with my friends, I'm just, damn. And if you still think it was just a headline, Fox News just dropped what I consider the final blow. Pete.
Memo on the South Lawn a few months ago to try to help Elon Musk's business while it was being vandalized. We're told that Tesla, still sitting there, the red Tesla with Florida tags, is either going to be given away or sold off. And we are told that it was about a month that Elon Musk was wearing thin on Trump. So this was not a sudden exit and then blow up. There was about a month that he was wearing thin, the president's word. Something else, there was some reporting today about the possibility of a Trump and Elon Musk phone call to make nice. Aides are telling me that is not something they are tracking. It's possible that some staffers might try to talk to Musk, but no Trump and Musk call, at least not that we know about. We did hear from the president yesterday, and he didn't sound mad, but he sounded disappointed.
Elon and I had a great relationship. I don't know if we will anymore, but I'm very disappointed in Elon. I've helped Elon a lot. And I'll be honest, I think he misses the place. I think he got out there and all of a sudden he wasn't in this beautiful Oval Office.
The lowest blows yesterday came from Elon. He said, without me, Trump would have lost the election.
Ouch.
Dems would control the House and the Republicans would be 51-49 in the Senate. And then he wrote, time to drop the really big bomb. Donald Trump is in the Epstein files. That is the reason they have not been made public. Have a nice day, DJT. The president, of course, said that Musk had been wearing thin and he was asked to leave. And the president offered up the idea that the fastest way to save money would be to cancel Musk's government contracts. Musk then wrote, in light of the president's statement about cancellation of my government contracts, SpaceX will begin decommissioning its Dragon spacecraft immediately. But he later said, okay, we won't decommission Dragon. Trump rarely seems as close to aides as he did for a time to Elon Musk, and we asked about that at the start of his term.
At the end of the day, Elon Musk said today, I love Donald Trump as much as a straight man can love another man. What does the first lady think about that?
Oh, I think she'll be okay with it somehow.
So this was a sensational back and forth on the platform Elon Musk owns yesterday, but there were signs of strain for the last week or so in public. Elon Musk blew up in the Oval Office during his send-off when I tried to ask him about this big New York Times report that alleged he was blurring the lines between medical use of drugs and recreational use of drugs, and we still don't have any real clarity about that. Back to you.
Well, one thing is pretty clear, Peter. Wasn't Elon Musk really tight with J.D. Vance? Didn't they have a relationship prior because of their tech backgrounds? And I'm wondering, with him, he's also tight. Elon Musk is tight with Don Jr., too. So I don't know. Did he pre-think this? Is he breaking up with everybody he knows there?
It's unclear how much thought went into this ahead of time, but we are not hearing any Republicans come out to say we are with Elon Musk. Even the Republicans who were with him at a couple days ago when he started saying we need the big, beautiful bill to be smaller. And if anything, some of the top folks around here that you talk to, it seems like this actually helps the big, beautiful bill, because if lawmakers, elected Republicans, have to pick a side between Elon Musk, who wants the bill smaller and killed in its current form, or Donald Trump, who wants it through, most of the people in elected Washington are going to go with Donald Trump.
Yeah, everybody not named Rand Paul and Tom Massey.
Right.
Yep. Thanks so much, Peter.
Thank you, Peter. Elon, this is what Caroline Levitt said, Elon can speak for his companies as a businessman, but President Trump has the responsibility to fight for our country. Ted Cruz was on last night. He said it's unfortunate. They're both extraordinary men. He said Elon's an incredible business leader and businessman, and Trump's phenomenal. Works daily, pulling this country back from the abyss. He said they're both great leaders. When they were together, they were better for the country. And Elon was right. He said, we need to make the bill better. We need to make more cuts. And he said in the Senate, they will definitely be doing that.
They're still together. This is just a fight. Grown men fight. We don't get to see it publicly sometimes. Yeah, they should have handled this behind closed doors, but there's just no alternative. What is Elon going to do? Go become a Democrat? Going to start a third party? That's not going to happen. He is our George Soros, and Donald Trump is the right Barack Obama. And the president has a role. He has to get things passed. He has to bring the coalition together. He has to worry about the Senate as well as Congress, and he has to keep the tent together, whereas Elon can put pressure from his standpoint of saying, I want this in the bill, but he doesn't have the responsibility of making sure it gets passed. He's used to having his company where he has the final say. The government doesn't work that way.
He spent $288 million for Republican causes. Tesla stock is down 14%. And the problem he has is Elon Musk is brilliant, but he's not popular. So every Democrat is against him now. And now Republicans are asked to make a choice between the most popular Republican and Elon Musk. He's not going to come out on top there. All he has is money, and he is brilliant. But Bill Ackman gave a lot of people hope when he put this out, and he got a response. He is a self-made billionaire and a friend of both men. He said, I support Donald Trump and Elon Musk, and they should make peace for the benefit of the great country. We are much stronger together than apart. And then Musk came right back with this. You're not wrong. That beats you're on Epstein's list.
They'll definitely make peace. Donald Trump has had feuds with a lot of other people, a lot of Republicans.
Marco Rubio, J.D. Vance. I mean, pretty much his whole cabinet.
Ted Cruz, remember?
Exactly.
And they came back together,
You see, at the end of the day, it's not about Tesla. I think this is more about trust. Trump and Elon both helped each other publicly and privately. But now Elon is throwing out these claims that we all knew. He hadn't said any or added anything new to he's on the Epstein list, except for that's the reason why they aren't releasing that part. But he knew exactly what kind of headlines these would create. And Trump responded the way Trump does. Directly, of course. You don't have to agree with everything the man says, but one thing about Trump, he's not going to play no fake politics. And honestly, this kind of clarity is rare in politics from what I've been able to see. This was beyond fallout. This is a reminder. Not everybody in your corner is really in your corner. Let me know what you think. Who do you think is handling this okay? And more importantly, what do you think what comes next? Y'all be safe. Go check up somebody today. You could be saving their life. Peace.